Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now October 23rd of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney, Lucasfilm, Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, you name it, and exactly how George, John, and Dave coming together as a team is really going to change Star Wars for the better in the next couple of years. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, we do know that as of right now, they are trying their absolute best to really get out of this phase of desperation and damage control, to really embrace this new take on Star Wars that's really going to give the fans a more positive direction of the franchise. And that's ultimately what they really want to do. They want to expand on many of the known characters, beloved characters like Luke, Anakin, Ben Solo, and others out there, that's going to be implemented in future projects on Disney Plus and more. Now, when we go ahead and take a look at what happened with the sequel trilogy, obviously that was a very shaky production behind the scenes. That was a particular, film per se when it comes to the Rise of Skywalker specifically. Very shaky production when it comes to the very end of the Skywalker saga because of Kathleen Kennedy interfering with the scenes and deleting so many and putting new ones in. So now we're in a phase where we have Bob Chapek, the new Disney CEO, with the previous Disney CEO by his side, Bob Iger, helping him out, with George, John, and Dave really helping out with the creative aspects of Star Wars and really rebuilding Star Wars from the ground up. That's ultimately what they really are doing. They really are going to rebuild Star Wars from the ground up and really bringing it back to the way it was before 2012 when Disney bought out Lucasfilm. Now, on top of all of this, what's really exciting is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the entire sequel trilogy and just finished not so long ago with Episode 9, they are also focused on their new Star Wars universe that is set to give fans a brand new take on the Star Wars franchise. It's described that as of right now, both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are hard at work on developing a new mythology that will resonate with the fandom around the world. One major project currently in the works is said to be the Rise of Skywalker sequel series that will be based many years after the events of Episode 9 and will make its way onto Disney Plus sometime in 2023 or 2024. So once again, guys, this project, it's still somewhat of a ways off. It's still currently in the early development phase. We got quite a ways to go. However, it's noted that one major direction for the show that actually George, John, and Dave are working on is to establish a segment in the series in which Ben Solo and Anakin Skywalker meet in the show that will serve as a major highlight within the netherworld of the Force. The series is set to go into this unknown realm to show the fans where the Force goes go and what it's like for the Jedi to become one with the Force. So this show in particular is really going to give Anakin and Ben Solo the limelight that they deserve. Now, granted, we got a little bit of Ben Solo at the very end of Episode 9, not a whole lot of Ben Solo, right? In fact, it was Kathleen Kennedy who called the shots on how Ben Solo would have little to no dialogue in Episode 9. That's why we did not get a lot of him talking to Rey or talking to Palpatine or anything like that. We didn't get any of that really on Exegol. So now, basically these characters are getting a big second chance here because obviously with the Disney sequel trilogy, they really didn't do all that well with Anakin because they didn't really want to explore that character in greater depth eventually. They were supposed to, but Kathleen Kennedy had a change of heart for the worst. It obviously turned on her. A lot of Star Wars fans were very upset that she made those key decisions to not include Anakin Skywalker in Episode 9. Now, moving on. Now, the new show is also set to introduce Rey's new Jedi students, with Finn being one of the new Jedi and a part of her new Jedi Academy that takes place on the world of Tatooine. Now, this is spectacular. I think the fact that they are going to explore Finn becoming a Jedi in this new Rise of Skywalker sequel series, I think is honestly something that we should have saw in Episode 9. Now, sure, they meddled with him being Force sensitive. We saw that. We saw that J.J. Abrams was trying to at least kind of tap into that or trying to make up for what was lost for the character of Finn I mean, make no mistake, I think I was, really upset the fact that they promoted Finn to be somewhat of a Jedi in The Force Awakens, and that was a complete, I guess you could say, misdirection to ultimately direct it toward Rey, right? However, this is giving the character of Finn yet again another chance, making him a Jedi, becoming a part of Rey's new Jedi Academy in this new animated series. I think a lot of Finn fans out there that like the character are really going to be very much appreciative over this decision. Now further, Ben Solo's spirit is described to play a significant role in the series, and that this character will also be voiced by actor Adam Driver. George Lucas recently met up with Adam Driver and hired him for the new series that is now just in the early stages of development over at Lucasfilm. This is set to expand the character of Ben Solo and the Skywalkers, where one key feature in the show will involve the Skywalkers to come back to life, temporarily speaking, through the power of the wills in this new show, where this is something that George Lucas wanted to experiment with in the original cut of The Rise of Skywalker before it was cancelled by Kathleen Kennedy, and is now going to reuse some of the original concepts from Episode 9 to be put into this new show. Now, the Wills, who are godlike beings, will also be a big part in the upcoming Star Wars TV series for Disney+. What's exciting about the Wills, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but these are the characters that watch over all the events that take place between Episodes 1 and Episodes 9 and beyond. Now, the godlike beings were created by George Lucas well back in 1977. He never really got to explore the Wills per se in greater depth, and now he's getting the big chance to do that on this Untitled Rise of Skywalker animated sequel series that's really going to dive more into the Force, the Jedi, and other aspects. Now, the series is also set to be created by Dave Filoni in order to establish the worlds between worlds in, of course, this new series in a unique and fun way for fans to witness more time travel aspects within the Star Wars world. Now, the Worlds Between Worlds is said to have a different design than it did in Star Wars Rebels, and that Dave Filoni is set to give it a brand new look for the fans to see at home on the streaming service. Bob Chapek is very confident that this will also expand Rey as a character in a special way by exploring her children, Cade and Kira Skywalker, in the new show. So this is yet again another thing that we went over not so long ago, is that Rey's children will be highlighted in this new Star Wars universe. It's almost as if it's Disney's version of Ben Skywalker, Jaina, and Jason Solo. If you look at it like that, obviously I don't think it's going to match up to the old EU. I don't think that you could really get it to the same exact level as the old EU. But at least it's an effort by Disney to at least tap into the Skywalker bloodline, pretty much getting a continuation. This is a really good way to do it. Now, obviously, I would rather Cade and Kira to be more connected to characters like Luke and Ben Solo in a more direct way, but they're using Rey as a character to actually be connected and become a part of Ben Solo's spirit that's going to actually allow her to give birth to these two new Skywalkers. So it's almost like a spin on the Immaculate Conception that we saw with Shmi Skywalker bringing Anakin into this world. Now we're going to have a similar scenario by Rey, except it's done in a different manner. It has a little twist or a spin on it, if you will. Now, finally, of course, Disney, is currently developing a comic series for 2022 that will introduce the characters firsthand before they make a grand entrance into this new animated sequel series that is described to be very lifelike, since they will be using motion capture technology and new CGI techniques in the show. The new show will also explore the origin of the Jedi and the Sith, as well as the known Star Wars galaxy, to give the fans an in-detail Star Wars history lesson of where and how everything started from the Star Wars galaxy and beyond. Once again, guys, I'm very excited to see exactly, what Disney Star Wars is going to look like in the next couple of years. I think that The Mandalorian Season 2 is obviously going to give you a little bit of a taste of that this October. Obviously within this month, a lot of things are going to happen within Star Wars. The Mandalorian's going to really set the bar for this new universe. So, like I say, I'm very excited about Kenobi, very excited about the Ahsoka series, and other Star Wars projects out there, just to name a few. So yeah, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.